Folks, look at these gorgeous black-eyed peas. Today's recipe is black-eyed peas, basically home style. It's a delicious recipe, and I'm sure you're going to love it. Hey, it's just about New Year's, okay? We're past Christmas, and I thought, what better than a good black-eyed pea recipe? I'm going to give you my basic black-eyed pea recipe. Folks, it's an easy one to make. There's a few little tricks to it, but once you get it down, you're going to be making delicious black-eyed peas on a regular basis. It's a nice recipe. It frees your time up a little bit to work on other recipes for whatever meal you're doing. This is black-eyed peas the way we do them in Texas, and folks, it's delicious. Before we get in the kitchen, I would like to mention satrotter.com. That's my website. And it's all about what I do, which is, in part this, which is Texas Cooking Today. The merchandise for Texas Cooking Today is going to be sold there. In fact, the cap is already up for sale. Soon comes an apron. I've started my recipes. They're really cheap. They're 25 cents. Now, if you're wondering why is he selling the recipes, hey, listen, I had to think long and hard on this one. But I personally felt that since I've already given it out for free here on YouTube, through my tutorials, anybody that wants to write down any recipe I have is welcome to do so. I've put a lot of time and effort in the ones that I have on my website. They are designed with a beautiful picture that shows you what the recipe should look like. It is set up in such a way that it's really easy to read and to get your ingredients set up. And most of my recipes have a little block at the bottom for you to make annotations, a little notes section. They print well, and if you print them out, you can just put them inside of a 3-ring binder and build your own Texas Cooking Today recipe book. Folks, please take a look at that. That's satrotter.com, and let's get in the kitchen now. I want to show you how I like to make black-eyed peas. Come on. Now, folks, our ingredients are really simple. I've got some black-eyed peas here. Now, I'm using frozen black-eyed peas, and it's just because I find them very convenient, and it's a good way to do this. If you want to use the dry, you can do that, but remember there's a soaking period. In addition to this, we're going to be using some jalapeno, onion, bay leaf. Over here I have a ham hock, some salt, and black pepper. This comes together as an absolutely delicious dish. Now let me show you the ins and outs on this simple goodie. Now, first thing I want to do when I handle jalapenos, and I want to recommend that you do this also, put some gloves on. When you're handling a jalapeno, that capsaicin, the hot part, gets on your skin. It doesn't wash off easily. It washes off very hard, and it kind of fights you. So I recommend that you go ahead and get some protection on there. You can just pull off, and you don't have to worry about scratching under your eye 2 or 3 hours later, and then suddenly your face is burning. When it comes to handling jalapenos, let me show you some neat tricks about these. First, I need to just remove the crowns, and I need to half them. There we go. Get rid of this part because I don't need it. This part is easily removed, and let me explain something. If you're worried about the jalapeno being too hot, the part of a jalapeno that is hot is this inside core right here and the membrane that attaches those seeds. That's actually the hottest part. So you can use a spoon, believe it or not, to just very simply extract it. If you've ever had jalapenos that were pickled, then they're hot throughout, and the reason for that is the pickling process washes the capsaicin from this inner core into the green meat. The green meat of a jalapeno doesn't actually have much heat at all. It's very mild. And so what I've done right there is I've removed about 95% of the heat of this jalapeno just by scraping it out. And it's just that simple. You get the flavor, not the heat. Go at yours the same way. Just remove all of your cores, and we're going to get them diced up, okay? Once you have your jalapenos looking just like that, go ahead and cut them. There's a trick to cutting jalapenos. Cut from the inside out, and it will cut much easier. A lot of times people's knives have a hard time going through the skin on the outside of the jalapeno. So they'll be sitting there sliding their knife along. Now mine goes right through it because my knife is just razor sharp. So I can pretty much do it either way. But if you're having trouble, cut from the inside. So all I need is just to have small pieces of jalapeno. You don't want any pieces larger than any of the black eyed peas. That's a good way to see it. Once you have the paper removed from the outside of the onion, cut off the stem end, keep the root end intact. Now, cutting an onion and dicing it perfectly is pretty easy, but you got to cut it 3 ways. You got to cut it this way, you got to cut it this way, and you got to cut it this way. All right? That's just the way it works. And let me show you how we do that. We'll split this in half, and it's not the most radiant or beautiful onion in the world, but it's going to serve our purposes quite well. Now, when you're making a cut, and you're going to go crosswise, don't ever do it this way. This is called the suicide cut if you're cutting back this way, because it can slip loose and head right for your gut. So instead we turn that knife around and we make our cuts away from us. Now if I cut this onion this way and then just make cuts this way, I'm going to have some nice square pieces that come from the middle, but all the pieces from the edge are going to be really long. This is how you prevent that. Right there, that knife starts binding up, okay? If your knife binds up when you're doing that, twist it a little and go into it again. Come up a little higher, just like so. Now, for my next maneuver, we're going to go straight down. You notice we're using the root to keep everything intact. And when I come across, even though some of it's coming apart already, it's going to give me perfect dice. And as you notice, it's not a hard thing to do what I just did. You know, make a couple of cross cuts and then go at it. Now the rest of this can be brought down into small pieces if you like. And for those that thought they were going to get away right there, they didn't. So a perfect dice on your onion every time if you use that technique. And when you're doing this, keep those fingers together and on top. When the knife gets tight, twist it, push it in again. So you can do that more than once. There's always those. Well folks, everything is now prepped. We have that diced onion down here in the pan, and I am going to take that and sweat it. So what we need to do is just add a little oil. It doesn't matter what kind of oil you put in here, just something that kind of breaks it loose from the bottom a little. Put a medium-low heat under this and let it sweat covered. You're just trying to soften the onions a little bit, turn them a little bit translucent. And once we get it to that point, we're going to start adding other ingredients. Okay, I've just turned off the cooking on this. So what I have now are some onions that are, well, basically thoroughly swept. And well, that's what we're looking for. A little bit of browning is fine. Don't worry about that. All I need to do is start adding in everything else. Nothing like a ham hock when it comes to making really good black-eyed peas. And it's a great use of something that most people would throw away. I never throw away my ham hocks. They're always good for making a dish special. One leaf, right in there. I couldn't fit all of my black-eyed peas in that one bowl. Had a few extras there. Our water. And I want to turn this on to a medium-high heat. until I can bring the temperature up enough that it is starting to simmer. Now a little bit more water. And the reason is, I really like to have a lot of juice with my black-eyed peas. I think it is so good tasting. So it's just one of those things I like in life. Now all I have to do, I've got my heat under this, cover it, and just let it cook until your black-eyed peas are cooked down tender. Now something that's important to say here, when it comes to salt, salt has a tendency to make beans and black-eyed peas and things like that tough. Don't cook salt into that bean from the early stages. We always add salt late when we're cooking beans, okay? Just one of the simple little rules. Now folks, the quantities of what you've just seen me use was 1 pound of black-eyed peas. That's the frozen ones there. I used 1 ham hock, 1 bay leaf, a medium onion, 2 jalapenos that are fairly substantial sized. When it comes to the black pepper and salt, those are really kind of to taste, but I'm going to say on the light side, a teaspoon of black pepper at the end of cooking, or 2 teaspoons if you want to go heavy, and exactly the same way on the salt. My black-eyed peas have been 1.5 hours in the cooking. I have a beautiful pot here. I've already pulled out the ham hock, it's back over that way. I wanted to pull out some of these beautiful black-eyed peas and put right there with my tamales. And if you're wondering, oh, will that work together? Well, of course it will. They go together perfectly. Beautiful. Folks, that's the way you need to be doing them black-eyed peas. Good old black-eyed peas. Black-eyed peas. Tender, delicious, perfectly spiced. That's really good. Folks, please give this a try. It's a really good recipe. It's very basic, very country cooking, and very good. Take a look at my channel, Texas Cooking Today. You're going to find a lot of videos there. If you're not sure, take a look at the episode number of this video. You'll see what I mean. There's a lot of stuff there for you. Texas Cooking Today provides you those tutorials as well as just recipe videos, and so you get options. Also, the recipes are now becoming available on satrotter.com as well as other merchandise. So if you would, please take a look at that. And folks, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.